Strangulation or sexual choking is a bedroom activity that's been getting more popular lately, particularly among young people. And this is extremely concerning because these people who want to choke their partner, typically men, or who consent to being choked, typically women, don't actually understand the risks involved. Which is why today we're going to talk about everything that you need to know if you're interested in playing with strangulation in bed. My name is Helena Nista and I make videos that help you have the best sex of your life. And in today's video, we're looking deep into sexual choking. So, not surprisingly, the inspiration to engage in choking most often comes from porn. It seems that the producers of adult movies keep searching for new or more exciting ways to attract or arouse their audience. And strangulation is definitely a very risky or even shocking activity to perform or even to witness on the screen. A recent study performed in Australia found that more than half of young people between the ages of 18 and 35 have been strangled during sex at least once, or have strangled their partner during sex. And the numbers are similar in the countries like the US or UK. And we know for a fact that these young people consenting to being choked have no idea about the actual risks of playing in this way. And while death is an actual possible outcome, it is fairly rare. But just because you're still alive after being choked doesn't mean that you didn't suffer serious harm to your brain function. Brain injury from repeated choking builds up and could result in a stroke as far as a year later. So if you've ever considered choking someone or being choked before, I urge you to watch this video till the end so that you're fully informed about what's at stake. But before we dive deeper into the dangers of playing with choking, let's first ask, what actually is it and why do people do it? Sexual choking is an act of pressing on a partner's neck during sex, meaning intercourse or another non-penetrative sexual activity. This is typically done with hands or an arm or another object like a scarf or a rope, etc., in order to restrict the blood flow and the airflow to the lungs. Doing that can lead to neck bruising, swelling, ringing in ears, recurring headaches, fainting, or even death. Being choked can create feelings of euphoria, which would be one of the reasons for being on its receiving end. But more often it leads to feeling dizzy, lightheaded, or to changes in vision, including a temporary loss of vision. Other reasons have to do with power play. Many people can find it exciting to play dominant or submissive roles in bed, and strangulation can provide them with an opportunity to express these roles. Also, many young people consider choking a normal and acceptable form of rough sex. This perception has really been growing over the years. About 20 years ago, a huge majority of people would never even think of choking as something that could be done in bed. And now, in a 2020 study, 77% of US graduates indicated that they thought of choking as a possibility in bed. And this is particularly important because many young men who view choking in porn consider it a fun, pleasurable, and safe sexual activity that doesn't require consent. Obviously, many young women also watch porn and they can find themselves romanticizing choking without understanding its risks and dangers. Porn is not the only culprit here. Sexual choking has also been popularized by internet memes, often shared on social media websites. These are typically images with a caption or brief videos that represent choking as erotic, fun, or exciting. And when we see this kind of message online again and again and again, it can lead to normalizing the idea that choking is okay. But when we don't understand the danger, and when we think that we can imitate in our bedrooms what we see on the screen, things can get very tricky. According to UK research, strangulation during sex is second most common cause of stroke in women under 40. And this is because many people do this more than once, so the negative effects on the brain accumulate. And this can lead to health issues like blood clots, increased heart rate, increased blood pressure, fever, loss of consciousness, stroke, or even miscarriage in the weeks or months after the experience of being strangled. You have to understand that even if there are no signs of damage to your health or to your brain right after being choked, it doesn't mean that you're safe. Your brain will likely suffer every time you experience being choked, and you will pay a heavy price for it later. The second problem with choking is the social pressure to not be boring or vanilla in bed. This pressure can push many women to consent, or even to consent enthusiastically, but without any sort of idea what being choked can do to their brains and their bodies. But the more we normalize the idea of choking, the more we put at risk ourselves and many other people. I mean, can you imagine losing your life or your partner to stroke or to a brain injury only to learn that it was caused by sexual choking? This is absolutely not something that you can play with safely. Sexually choking your partner is extremely dangerous, and even one individual instance of doing that can have very severe consequences. And there is nothing fun, adventurous, or exciting about putting your partner at risk in this way. I personally have never been choked by a partner and would never ever agree to playing in this way, because I do understand the risks. And I wear my vanilla sex badge with pride because I know just how amazing, arousing, satisfying, and safe that kind of vanilla sex is. So if anybody ever suggests that you should be choked during sex, tell them to go to hell. If anybody ever dares to call you boring in bed or tries to shame you because you don't want to be strangled sexually, don't ever talk to them again. And on the other hand, just because your partner agreed to having sex with you doesn't automatically mean that they agreed to being choked. Any non-consensual sexual act, including choking, is considered assault and has legal serious consequences. So having said all of that, please, let's normalize the idea of vanilla sex being a valid, acceptable, and beautiful form of sexual expression. And if you'd like to learn about all the ways in which porn is not like real sex, make sure to watch this video next.